Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu. My name is Nurjana Pasawiran. I am the third reporter. At this time, I'll be going to discuss the topic entitled The Promise at Zamzam.
The well of Zamzam, which disappeared when the Arabs placed idols at the Kaaba, remained buried under the sand. Thus, for many years, the people of Quraysh had to fetch their water from far away. One day, Abdul Muttalib was very tired from doing this and fell asleep next to the Kaaba. He had a dream in which he was told to dig up Zamzam. When he woke up, he was puzzled because he did not know what Zamzam was. The well had being disappeared many years before he was born. The next day, he had the same dream, but this time he was told where to find the well. So, it means ang balon ng Zamzam na nawala when the Arabs placed idols at the Kaaba ay nananatiling nakalibing sa ilalim ng buhangin. So, it means wala pang nakakaalam about the Zamzam. Kaya't sa loob ng maraming taon, ang mga Quraysh ay kailangang kumuha ng kanilang tubig mula sa malayo. So, isang araw, si Abdul Muttalib ay pagod na pagod sa paggawa nito. Kasi dahil nga sa malayo yung pinagkukunan nila ng tubig. At nakaramdam ito ng tulog. Kaya natulog siya sa tabi ng Kaaba. So, habang siya ay natutulog, nagkaroon siya ng panaginip kung saan sa kanyang panaginip sinabihan siyang maghukay daw ng Zamzam. Dig up Zamzam. Kumbaga maghukay ng Zamzam. So, nang siya ay magising, siya ay na-curious, kumbaga nagtataka natuliro dahil hindi niya alam kung ano ang ibig sabihin ng Zamzam. Ano nga ba ang ibig sabihin nito? Ang balon na nawala ng maraming taon bago siya ipinanganak. So, kinabukasan, nagkaroon na naman siya ng parehong panaginip. Yung panaginip niya last night ay napanaginipan na naman niya, which is tungkol yun sa Zamzam. Ngunit sa oras na ito, sa oras ng kanyang panaginip, dito sinabi dito sa kanya kumbaga saan mahanap ang balon, kung saan ba mahahanap ang Zamzam. Abdul Muttalib had one son at that time, and together they began to dig. The work was so difficult that Abdul Muttalib made an oath to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that if one day he were to have 10 sons to help him and stand by him, and return he would sacrifice one of them in Allah's honor. So, ibig sabihin, si Abdul Muttalib, that time meron na siyang isang anak. So, sama-sama silang naghukay. Napakahirap ang trabaho, kaya't si Abdul Muttalib ay kumbaga nanumpa siya sa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nag-promise siya sa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala na kung balang araw na magkaroon siya ng 10 anak na lalaki na tutulong sa kanya at tumayo para sa kanya, bilang kapalit ay isasakripisyo niya ang isa sa kanyang mga anak in Allah's honor. So, after working for 3 days, they finally found the well of Zamzam. So, pagkatapos, after 3 days, natagpuan nila yung balon ng Zamzam. Pilgrims have been drinking from it ever since. So, the years passed by and Abdul Muttalib did have 10 sons. They grew up into fine, strong men, and the time came for him to keep his promise to Allah. So, ang mga taon na lumipas at si Abdul Muttalib ay mayroon ng 10 anak na lalaki. So, lumaki sila ng mabuti, malalakas na tao at doon na rin dumating at oras na din yun para tuparin ang kanyang pangako sa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He told his sons about the promise, and they agreed that he had to sacrifice one of them to see which one it would be. They decided to draw lots, which was the custom of Quraysh when deciding important matters. So, sinabi niya sa kanyang mga anak na lalaki ang tungkol sa ipinangako niya sa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At sumang-ayon din naman sila na kailangan niyang isakripisyo ang isa sa kanyang mga anak upang makita kung alin ito. So, nagpasya silang mag-draw lots. Yung draw lots is parang kumbaga makipagsapalaran. Yun siya. Na yung draw lots, ito yung kumbaga kaugalian ng mga Quraysh kung nagpapasya ng mahalagang bagay. Kumbaga ito yung ginagawa nila kung mayroon ba silang pagpapasyahan na mahalagang bagay. So, Abdul Muttalib told each son to get an arrow and write his own name upon it, and then to bring it to him. So, sinabi ni Abdul Muttalib sa bawat anak niya na kumbaga kumuha ng isang arrow, yung palaso, at bawat sa kanila isulat nila yung kanilang sariling pangalan dito at pagkatapos dalhin ito sa kanya. This they did, after which he took them to the Kaaba, where there was a man whose special task it was to cast arrows and pick one from among them. So, nagawa nila ito at pagkatapos ay dinala niya sila sa Kaaba kung saan merong isang tao doon na ang special na gawain na ito ay kumbaga upang maghagis ng mga arrow, palaso, at pumili ng isa mula sa kanila. This man solemnly proceeded to do this. So on the arrow he chose was written the name of Abdullah, the youngest and favorite son of Abdul Muttalib. Even so, the father took his son near the Kaaba and prepared to sacrifice him. So it means ang taong ito ay kumbaga taintinan niyang nagpatuloy na gawin niya ito. Sa arrow, sa palaso na napili niya ay nakasulat ang pangalan ni Abdullah, ang bunso at paboritong anak ni Abdul Muttalib. So gayunpaman, dinala ng ama ang kanyang anak malapit sa Kaaba at naghanda na isakripisyo siya. Many of Quraysh leaders were present and they became very angry because Abdullah was very young and much loved by everyone. They tried to think of a way to save his life. So, marami sa mga Quraysh leaders ay naroroon at nagalit sila sapagkat si Abdullah ay napakabata pa niya at kumbaga minamahal siya ng lahat, iniidolo siya. Kaya nga naman, sinubukan nilang mag-isip ng paraan upang mailigtas ang kanyang buhay. Someone suggested that the advice of a wise old man who lived in Yathrib should be sought, and so Abdullah took his son and went to see if she could decide what to do. So, may nagsuggest ng ang advice ng isang wise old man na naninirahan sa Yathrib ay dapat na hanapin at sa gayoy kinuha ni Abdul Muttalib ang kanyang anak at kumbaga tinungnan kung maaaring magpasya kung ano ang gagawin nila. And some of the Meccans went with them, and when they got there, the woman asked, "What is the price of a man's life?" They told her, 10 camels. For at that time, if one man killed another, his family would have to give 10 camels to the dead man's family in order to keep the peace among them. So, ang ilan sa mga Meccans ay sumama sa kanila at nang makarating doon ay may nagtanong na babae. Kumbaga, magkano ang presyo ng buhay ng tao? Ano ang presyo ng buhay ng tao? So, ang sabi nila sa kanya, 10 camels. So, ang isang buhay ay, ang katumbas nito ay 10 camels. So, sa oras na yun, kung ang isang tao ay pumatay ng isa pa, ang kanyang pamilya ay kailangang magbigay ng 10 camels sa pamilya ng namatay upang mapanatili ang kapayapaan sa kanila. So, kumbaga yung pumatay, kailangan niyang bigyan, bilang kabayaran, kailangan niyang bigyan ng 10 camels yung pamilya ng namatay. So, the woman told them to go back to the Kaaba and draw lots between Abdullah and 2 camels. So, kaya't sinabi sa kanila ng babae na bumalik sa Kaaba and draw lots between Abdullah at ng 10 camels. So, if the camels were chosen, they were to be killed and the meat given to the poor. If Abdullah was picked, then 10 more camels were to be added and the lots drawn again and again until they finally fell on the camels. So, kung ang camels ay were chosen, sila ay papatayin at ang karne ay ibibigay sa mahihirap. Kung si Abdullah ay napili, then 10 camel ang idadagdag and the lots draw again and again hanggat sa tuluyan until they finally fell on the camels. So Abdul Muttalib returned to the Kaaba with his son and the people of Mecca. There they started to draw lots between Abdullah and the camels, starting with 10 camels. So, si Abdul Muttalib ay bumalik sa Kaaba kasama ang kanyang anak na si Abdullah at ang mga tao sa Makkah. So, nagsimula na silang makipagsapalaran between Abdullah and camels. So, 10 camels nagsisimula. Abdul Muttalib prayed to Allah to spare his son and everyone waited in silence for the result. Si Abdul Muttalib ay nanalangin sa Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala na iligtas ang kanyang anak. Kaya ang lahat ay naghihintay kung ano ang magiging resulta ng labanan. So the choice fell on Abdullah, so his father added 10 more camels. Again, the choice fell on Abdullah. So they did the same thing again and again, adding 10 camels each time. So ang pagpipilian, the choice fell on Abdullah. Kumbaga, in short, natalo si Abdullah. Kaya't naman ang kanyang ama ay nagdagdag ng 10 camels. At muli din namang natalo or ganun ay ginawa nila ng parehong bagay na paulit-ulit din. Like for example, every time na matalo si Abdullah, mayroong 10 camels na idadagdag na naman para ganun, every time na natatalo si Abdullah, dadagdagan ng 10 camels. Finally, they reached 100 camels and only then did the lot fall on the camels. Abdullah was saved and everyone was very happy. So, finally, naabot nila ang 100 camels. 100 camels ang naabot nila at doon na natalo yung maraming camels. So, naligtas si Abdullah at ang lahat ay napakasaya. Abdul Muttalib, however, wanted to make sure that this was the true result, so he repeated the draw 3 times and each time it fell on the camels. So para kumbaga gayon pa man, nais ni Abdul Muttalib na tiyakin, make it sure, tiyakin na ito ang totoong resulta, kaya't naman ay Kumaga, inulit niya ng 3 beses ang yung draw draw. And each time it fell on the camels. He then gave thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he had spared Abdullah's life. The camels were sacrificed and there was enough food for the entire city, even the animals and birds. After ng labanan, nagpasalamat si Abdul Muttalib sa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dahil naligtas niya ang buhay ni Abdullah. Yung mga camels naman ay isinakripisyo at mayroong sapat na pagkain para sa buong lungsod. Kumbaga, pinamigay nila ito sa buong lungsod. Abdullah grew up to be a handsome young man, and his father eventually chose Amina, the daughter of Wahab, as a wife for him. So after that, lumaki si Abdullah bilang isang gwapong binata. Siya ay napakagwapong binata at kalaunan ay pinili ng kanyang ama si Amina. Si Amina ay ang anak na babae ni Wahab bilang isang asawa para sa kanya. It was a good match, for she was the finest of Quraysh women and Abdullah the best of the men. So, it was a good match kasi si Amina, siya yung pinakamagaling na babaeng Quraysh at si Abdullah naman ay ang pinakamahusay sa mga kalalakihan. So, he spent several months with his wife, but then he had to leave her and travel with one of the caravans to trade with the Syria. So, nagsama sila sa kanyang asawa na muhay ng ilang buwan. Ngunit pagkatapos ay kailangan niyang iwanan ito dahil siya ay maglalakbay kasama ang isa sa mga caravans upang makipagkalakalan sa Syria. So, kailangan niya itong iwanan dahil nga sa meron siyang dahil siya ay maglalakbay. So, on his way back to Makkah from Syria, Abdullah became ill and had to stop off in Yathrib to recover. So, ibig sabihin, kalaunan, sa kanyang pag-uwi, pabalik sa Makkah, mula sa Syria, nagkasakit si Abdullah at kinailangan huminto sa Yathrib upang doon siya magpagaling. So, habang nagtatravel siya, naglalakbay siya, mula sa Syria, pauwi sa Makkah, siya ay nagkasakit at kailangan niyang huminto sa Yathrib upang doon siya magpa-recover. The caravans, however, continued on its way and arrived back in Mecca without him. So, ang mga caravans ay nagpatuloy sa paraan nito at nakarating pabalik sa Makkah nang wala si Abdullah. Bumalik ang mga caravans tapos wala si Abdullah. On hearing of Abdullah's illness, Abdul Muttalib sent another son, Al-Harith, to bring Abdullah back to Mecca, but he was too late. So, ibig sabihin, nang marinig ang sakit ni Abdullah, nagpadala si Abdul Muttalib ng isa pang anak na lalaki. Kumbaga, ipinadala niya yung isa sa kanyang mga anak kay Abdullah, which is yun si Al-Harith. Ang ipinadala ni Abdul Muttalib na anak niya ay si Al-Harith upang ibalik si Abdullah sa Makkah. Ngunit nahuli na siya. When he arrived in Yathrib, Abdullah was dead. Amina was heartbroken to lose her husband and the father of the child she would soon give birth to. Only Allah knew that this orphan child would one day be a great prophet. So, nang dumating sa Yathrib si Abdullah ay siya ay namatay na. So, si Amina ay sobrang nasaktan, nagluluksa, dahil nga sa pagkawala ng kanyang asawa at ang ama ng kanyang anak na malapit na niyang isilang. So, ang Allah lamang ang nakakaalam na ang ulilang batang ito ay magiging isang dakilang propeta. So that's the end of my report. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuhu.